Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick follow-up to the Gala video that I posted about a week and a half ago. I definitely am going to be doing these a bit more consistently, but I wanted to show you the results of what I was discussing in that video. So if you want to take the time, you can go back and take a quick look at that. When we were doing it, we were right around here in the time frame, sitting on February 5th, looking at the 6 hour. I look at the different time frames. They all tell the same story when it comes down to it, but what I want to zoom in here with the 6 hour is that we were in a squeeze indicated by the Alpha Trend Plus indicator that I'm using. You'll notice this reversal hit, which I discussed in the prior video. This is where it goes. So the next bar in the 6 hours, we try to print a reversal, which shows that maybe this will go to the upside, but we never get a green dot. All right, it stays on this track line here. And what we see next is a red dot. So the reversal gets invalidated. It tries to reverse again. Upside, no green dot. We get another red dot with a red arrow coming down. It tries to reverse again. So it's bouncing off pretty heavily. We could probably label this as a bit of a support right here. And it's bouncing around repetitively. You can see it marks it multiple times, right around 0.5, about 5119, so a little over 5 cents. You notice it reverses again, but the thing that we want to look at here is a simple fact that it never really manages to gain traction or get any green dots above the track line. So it goes into another squeeze here, tries to reverse, is confirmed. So you could have got a short scalp long here over about 24 hours if you followed this, because once this was confirmed, there's definitely some more upside. But you'll notice based off of this reversal that if you just stayed short, you could have rode this reversal from here all the way down to here. So with that, you would have clipped, if we get the bottom, this says a 25, 26% drop, which would have been nice. Little short action, right? Continuing with like what we're looking at here, you could see on the 6 hour and how it continued. After this drop, it started to reverse, but the red dots remained, and we're below the track line here in the red as well. So the red dots, it tries to bounce out, still comes back down, hits another squeeze right here on the 6 hour. And then you can see right here, we're looking to our first green dot, and then it shoots back up. So if you followed this reversal, you again, once this was confirmed, technically right here, you could have rode this one all the way back up. We'll look at this peak if you want to get the full package. And that is a nice little gain there, isn't it? Of another 24%. If you just follow the indicator on each piece and you just didn't get shaken out by some of these dips, which honestly I can be pretty guilty of when it comes down to it. Again, we're looking at another scenario where if we're printing here on the 6 hour and we are following it to a T and we listen to it, we reverse out. The reversal is then confirmed to the downside. And if we do this again, where you see we're hitting another squeeze here, if we just follow this to where this just bottomed out the other day, we got another 12% fluctuation to the downside based off of that reversal if you went in at confirmation. Now, if you went in at confirmation, you waited for this whole bar, the gains would obviously have been pretty minimal. But if you came in at the reversal, you definitely would have saw some gains when it comes down to it. As you'll notice over the course of the next couple of days in the 6 hour, it tends to just stay in this box, which you could always implement a trade in the box scenario here. But again, we're seeing another 6 hour. We got red dots. It's coming back down towards the trend line. We got a red arrow on the 6 hour. This is in the process of confirming. So confirmation pretty much is like when this validates below the Gala line here, this previous candle wick. And you'll notice as of now, barring a change in the next hour, this will probably confirm another red dot in this squeeze. Right now, this squeeze, barring some change in event, depending maybe what the government does tomorrow, this is going to shoot to the downside again. Let's take a look at another time frame real quick. Let's pull up the 4 hour. Hold on, I want to remove these. Actually, no. I'm going to leave them in here because it tells the same story. You can see the 4 hour actually tells pretty much the same exact story with how we rode this thing. If we go to the daily, it should be pretty similar, right? Yep. Sorry, I'm clicking around now and things are getting messed up. So if we zoom in here and we pull this down, you'll notice a similar scenario. So we didn't get the same reversal here on the daily. Actually, I'm lying because this just moved. This should be right here. And this should ride over here on the daily. So if you actually followed the daily, so not the 6 hour, you would have caught a 30% move to the downside if you caught this reversal confirmation. You'll notice we've been sitting in the same scenario with the red dots. This is the same gain scenario from the bottom to the top, and everything here is the same too. So it's interesting to look at this stuff because if you just follow this indicator, you would have picked up some pretty solid gains of 30 to 24 to 12 if you did the daily. If we look at the weekly, weekly is a little different, obviously, because there's more to go off of, but it's a lot more secure. But you can see right here, if you caught this reversal again, it would have been some pretty solid gains in either scenario. Gala, definitely looking at this, the weekly, you're looking at a more stable scenario as it's been pretty green over time. You can see dating back to pretty much the beginning of 2023 when it came out of this 0.015 value. You could have 5 extra money if you got in here. But there's no reversal indicating that it was going to be moving to the upside, unfortunately. But once this green dot came in and then it got validated, we've pretty much been in a consistent trend upwards, and now we've been in a consolidation phase. So as far as like swing trading, it probably would have been a little bit harder, but if you're scalping over the course of a couple days, you can see already that a lot of this stuff is just going to be pretty beneficial just by this indicator. So let's take a look at another coin real quick because I want to just show you a little bit of how this picks up some other coins. And I'll continue to do this on this channel as we look at other stuff. But I also want to bring more to this channel, honestly, as time goes by. But trading is something that I am passionate about, and looking at this stuff is just super, super fascinating. Let's look at Filecoin, who I've been super bullish on. I know I haven't said it in a video, but you can see why. Like, look at this graph. Like, if you caught this move, it peaked down at like $2. You could have 4 extra money approximately, right? Is that about 4x right there? About 3x, 310%. So there's definitely some money here to be made, and this trend line, like once it broke it, it's just been going well. But I don't want to get too complicated here. I want to focus in here a little bit on the 6 hour, just in the more recent scenarios. So you can pick up a little bit of like what Filecoin is doing, as it's just pretty much going against the grain with some of the market over the last just, 48 hours or so. So first thing to note, as we get into the minutiae, you can see that Filecoin was just kind of trading in a specific range for a long period of time on the 6 hour. Right, it's going back a couple days. We're going back into January here, so let's hold on. Let's mark this. This right here is a bit of a support. And then this actually indicates pretty well the resistance as it should. This is another piece of the Alpha Trend Plus. Let me extend that line a little further back. So you'll notice over the course of the 6 hour, this thing was just trading between the track and this support and resistance. And those of you that don't know what support and resistance is, it's pretty much like a buy and sell zone. So when things are bouncing off of the resistance, that means there's people looking to get to this price and sell it, and support is the reverse, or people are looking to hopefully get this price and buy it. So in this scenario, you could effectively have traded this box up and down for quick scalps over the course of a couple days and made some okay returns. Let's see if we go to the bottom to the top. Pretty much each time this move was made, you're looking at about a 20% return, and it would have made you some money, right? But what I do want to look at as I break this out, let me widen this a little bit. I want to show you some of the trends and how this indicator really just helps pick things up. All right, so if we go back to the end of January, we can catch a mini move to the downside using these red dots. Right, you see the reds pick up. It's not a super strong visual, but you can see it's coming out of the squeeze. So even in this scenario, we went from 545 down to 485, which is a decent swing. What I want to pick up is we get a green dot with a green arrow coming off the track. The coin immediately shoots out from $5 to $5.87, and then it just consolidates. And then you'll see we get red dots, and then now we're below. It's guiding you the entire time as we go through this. Hold on, I just moved my bar. And you'll notice we pick up green dots again. We hit the reversal, it confirms. We know it's going to the upside again. And this is another little move you could have picked up for a nice 10% gain. I know nothing is guaranteed, but the thing is you just kind of have to take a chance sometimes. But that's the risk that we pay when we're in the investing market. But this is where the big move comes on the 6 hour. We hit a squeeze dating back to the February 14th. So happy Valentine's if you managed to get into this. You see the squeeze, and it picks up green dots. Great indicator. Green dot, green dot. I know the trend is still red. Green dot, we get above the bar. We get multiple bounces off of this. So the track is now playing support. And then we see this green arrow flip, and then the trend hit, and this validates. And what do we see? We see a huge move, right? So I actually managed to get in here right around 550 just for a little spot long. And it was obviously solid returns coming up. If you manage to hit this blast out of the squeeze, you would have looking at a potential 86% return on the trade. It's huge. Such a good gain. But you'll notice that the track stays with it. So it's following where green dots were floating above the entire time. Another green dot, which was confirmed, which hit a reversal, which actually was validated, and which it went into a turn of just consolidation, which is kind of what it's been doing since. The thing to note here is, I was literally about to go long on this before this video, and I didn't do it. I was sitting here looking at the green dots, picking up green dots above the track again, where it disappeared right here. And I would have got into probably about 810 and made a little bit of a return on this trade. But right now you can see it's moving. So let's go into a shorter time frame. So 4 hours, this is why I was hesitant. You can see we had some red dots and no dots sitting on the 4 hour. The fact that it's on the 6 hour is more reassuring because it's a higher time frame. And you can see the 1 hour is in a red trend where it's floating with red dots because it's just been floating in and out between 891 and 773 dating back earlier today. But now it's making a move to the upside. You can see right here. This is probably going to end up flipping. Let's look at the daily. The daily definitely shows similar scenarios where you got the green arrows and the green dots moving up. And then if we look at the weekly is not even above the track line yet, which is indicative that this could still really have a lot of room to run. Filecoin, when it first launched a couple years ago, it really peaked out pretty high, going up into like the $200 when this launched. But what's really crazy is like, you could have rode this for a long time. You could tell by just the dots that it's expressing. Like, you could have shorted all the way down to the $2 if you picked up the move back here where this red dot dropped below the track line. It started getting really weak right back in May of 2021. I mean, that would be a really, really long to sit on. Long. But you can see right here, the red arrows, it just keeps telling you this thing is going down. It can't even get above the track line, and now this is where we're sitting. So what we want to look at now is that we actually got some green dots for the first time on the weekly over the past couple weeks. And right now, after this big green dot with the big move last week, it's printing another green dot this week. So this is still showing signs of bullishness. If this can flip the track line for the first time since, I mean, I wouldn't even really consider this a flip. Since it practically launched, the sky is like the limit. Like, you'd be looking at potential targets up to like 70, 80 bucks. But obviously you have to start at certain levels. So first we'd be targeting the track line, looking at about $9, and then we'd be looking at this. You'll notice this resistance is actually already here. We'd be looking at $25 as a potential target. There's a lot of room for growth, barring that the market stays in the direction we want it to go. All right, so that's my review right now of Filecoin and Gala. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to comment, and I will show you more info in the next video. Thanks.